So welcome back to my channel, guys. It is a Tuesday afternoon and I just got back from work, and I want to film a video that I want to put up Wednesday, which will be obviously the day that you are watching it probably. So yes, I quickly made a list. Not quickly, actually, I already had a list on my phone, and then I've got a list on just a piece of paper here, just so that I can stick to the things I want to talk to, and that I don't talk about stuff I don't need to talk about. But as you can see from the title of this video, it's just going to be me explaining exactly the process of me coming to Amsterdam and how I got basically from point A, where I was, up until today, where I am currently at. So I'm going to start straight away. I want to make this as valuable for people watching and wanting to know, how did you get overseas? How did you get to work in the Netherlands? So, and then also, just sorry if the lighting changed, because it's, I think like 7 o'clock now, so obviously the sun is setting and everything. But okay, let's get right into it. So I did my third year of articles last year, and usually in that period is when like the norm of the job is that you would need to find a job for yourselves after your articles, which is 3 years. So in my third year, I was looking and searching for jobs. I used Gap Placements. That's a very good platform for chartered accountants. I did several things, but at the end I got my job through my company that I worked for in South Africa. It's an international company, so it makes it really easy to find a job in another country. So in May of 2018 I went for my interview, and as I mentioned, it's the same company that I worked for in South Africa for 3 years, where I did my articles, and it's one of the big 4 accounting firms. And then I went for my interview. I passed the first round. Then I went for my second interview, and which was actually like a Skype call with one of the partners. And they came back and they offered me a position, and I was very happy to accept the job. I mean, it's Amsterdam, and also like I always wanted to live overseas, and now I know this is the place I had to end up. So that's my job, getting a job. I went for interviews. They flew to South Africa and they had the interviews there with us, and then the second one was a Skype call with a partner and a manager. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention is that I am Afrikaans, and I do feel when you do speak Afrikaans, they do see it as a little bit of an advantage. Not that I say if you're English speaking that they won't consider you at all. It's not like that. There's English people that also came like with the same contract as what I did. So, but it's just if you're Afrikaans, you have a little bit of a small advantage, because it's very similar to the Dutch language. And then basically once they offered me the job in Amsterdam, my company did everything. They organized everything. I think literally the only thing that I did was filling in some papers that they provided to me or sent to me, and then I basically just had to have my passport and photos. I went in the day and I got I think they call it an MVV visa, which basically once it's issued, it's valid for a certain amount of time, and once you get in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, then you basically get your residence card. So then that, I think the visa, let me check. I'm trying to look now. This is my passport, and I'm trying to look now. I've got so many visas in here for back in the day when my parents used to live in Germany, because I visited 3 times a year for 3 years. So I've got a lot of stuff going on in this thing. Netherlands, let's see, it was valid basically for 3 months. So since issued, this is my MVV visa, and then there's my stamp when I entered the country. Wow, what great memories. So this was valid for 3 months. So at 28th of January 2019. That was the cutoff date for me to get my residence card, but I'll get into that now. Okay, but my company basically organized everything for me. They bought my flight ticket, they organized all the appointments I had to attend when I first got here, which I will get into now. But it was so nice that they literally organized everything. I just had to go into the embassy, give them the stuff that my company gave me, my passport, photo, and that was that. And then that was me going off on a plane on the 27th of December. That's the day my bloody life my life changed for good. Like literally, the 27th of December, it was also a very sad day, just after Christmas, but that's when I said goodbye to my family, my parents, my sisters, and I went off to Amsterdam. And literally I arrived here obviously the 28th of December, and I went straight to my Airbnb. Now I must say, I had to organize like all my accommodation once I arrived in the Netherlands. So I organized a Airbnb while I was still in South Africa online. It is very, very expensive, the Airbnbs. I think I paid like 110 euros for one night, and I was there for 2 weeks, but I originally booked it like for almost a month, and because I wasn't sure how fast I will get a place, how long it will take. But yeah, so once I arrived at the airport, I took a taxi to my Airbnb, and then I just relaxed that day, didn't do much. And then that following day, I can't remember if it's the following day or that exact day, I went and I bought my bicycle. It's still my bicycle that I have currently. I bought that. It's not that expensive, like it's not a brand new bicycle, because they get stolen like quite often. It's not advised that you should buy like a proper brand new bike. So I got my second-hand bike, and yeah, that was the first thing I did. I needed it because I had to go to a lot of appointments, and at that stage I wasn't that comfortable using the train and everything. So literally, if you come to Amsterdam, using your bike is like the best way to commute. Like it's the best, the fastest, and the funnest. So yeah, so then the first things that I did was I went for a BSN appointment. That's basically your national number that they give for every individual, that I think once you stay here for 3 or 6 months, I think it's for, if you're here in the country for longer than 3 months, I think, I can be wrong about this, but they basically give you this number. And then also organized that appointment for me, because you need to have an address before you go in, and then I could temporarily register, which is also like for 3 months you can temporarily register on your company's address, because obviously at that point in time I stayed in an Airbnb. I can't use that address, and I didn't have my apartment yet. So my company organized everything. I went in, took that form that my company basically did, and then I got my BSN number. I got my residence card, which is, show you my residence card. It's basically like a South African ID card, but it's like this. There, it basically just have all your details on that. So yeah, so that's the thing that I did that day. Then I went and I opened my bank account. It was literally, all of this happened like in the first 2 days. And the bank account, I booked my own appointment. You literally do it online. That's the one thing that's amazing here, is you make an appointment, you go in, and it's done. Like for BSN appointment, I think I was sitting like at the waiting area maybe like 5 minutes, and they call you like, you have your appointment, you go in, there's no queues, no, everything happens like it should. So I had my bank appointment, got my bank account, and then also for the Netherlands specifically, and I would say Amsterdam, where you cycle a lot or stuff like that, like they do recommend you getting third-party insurance. And I also got it that day, because like if I cycle and I bump into a car, like they will claim that damage from me, and having third-party insurance, like it just covers you for anything that might come your way accidentally. So yeah, just the other thing that I wanted to mention is, once you have once you have your resident card, think that, yeah, you can get your personal travel card, which is like an OV chip card, but it's like a personal one. Then if you do lose it, you you know, at least have access to it like online. So this is my train card, and you literally use it for all public transports. This includes the buses, the trams, the metros, the trains, intercities, everything. So it's so nice. You literally put money, you can put it online, and you just swipe on all types of transport. And it also has your name on it, so that's also nice, obviously, if you do need to use public transport and if you can't bike. So that's the one thing that I did. I originally got, it's like a blue one that I just bought at the airport, but that's the one that everyone can use. But this is what you use if you have like a resident card. Then into the serious stuff is finding an apartment. Like, that was probably the biggest stress that I had coming to Amsterdam. Like, the housing market here is very, very like on very high demand, so the prices are very high for rent that you pay. It's very, very high, especially if you don't want to share, because sharing is quite popular here. But if you don't want to share, you do obviously pay more. And then also, depending on the areas that you stay, yeah, you obviously pay quite a lot. So I immediately went on Ferrarius and Funda. I will put up the apps here to show you. On those two were like the main sites that I used to find an apartment. I literally, like, the one biggest tip that I can give someone that do move to Amsterdam is to commit to as many viewings as possible, because you can't just have like 2 viewings, because you're probably not going to get those one of those apartments. Like, I applied for like at least 20 viewings, and I think like maybe 6 or 7 came back to me. And I actually went and viewed 1, 2, 3, I think 4 places, and the 4th one is the one I decided that I wanted to take. Like, the first one I wanted to have, but it didn't. I actually viewed 5 places, sorry. The second one I wanted, but then it didn't end up happening, which I am now thankful for, because it wasn't, in hindsight, what I was looking for. And then the last one that I looked at, in one day I went to see 3 places, and then the last one is the one I took, and this is the one I'm currently staying in. It's like in the nicest area. Like, I consider it the best area, and every time I mention like I stay there, like, oh cool, you know, it's like a very hip, vibrant, like cozy, like busy, and it's just a really nice area to live in. Yes, and it's like that, like those Amsterdam like buildings, and like, yeah. So I rent here a semi-furnished place. It's a studio apartment, so I've got this cupboard basically splitting my bedroom from my living room, and then I have my kitchen that I basically bought everything in. Like, I have my own plates, my own everything, cutlery, yeah. Literally the only things that came was like the big furniture and like my washing machine, dishwasher, and all those stuff. So yeah, that was me finding an apartment. And then, yeah, so with that, then the one thing also with a heads up is you pay 2 months worth of deposit, and then you pay a month rent in upfront. So it's basically 3 months worth of pay that you need to do when you move into an apartment, and that is a lot, especially if you want to use your rands from South Africa to pay in euros. Then it's basically, yeah, it just goes like that. So it is very, very expensive, especially like the first step that you take to pay like 2 month deposit and then a month upfront. And that's also just like the norm. That's not necessarily to say it will be with everyone, but that's the norm. And then what else about the apartment? Then you have to register for your water, for electricity, for gas, and you do that all online. You choose your provider. My landlord helped me with that. She gave me a lot of options. And then the one thing also with Wi-Fi is you don't need like a work contract, your bank statements, proof of income, and all that shitty stuff. You don't need any of that. I'm at the provider Ziggo. I literally walked into the store. I said I wanted Wi-Fi. You choose your speed, unlimited, whatever, and literally there and then you need to have your bank card, your residence card. I didn't even like just that. They just want your details, your bank card, and that's that. I walked out there with everything. Yeah, it was just amazing. And yeah, so Wi-Fi is that you obviously would need to get yourself. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is that also I qualified for the 30% ruling, which is like, you can read it up online to get like more specific information, but it's basically like certain individuals, if you're like a highly skilled migrant, which I am qualified as, then you can, yeah, you only get taxed on 70% of your income. And I think it's valid. They changed it now. I think it was 8 years and it's 5 years or 6. I think it's 5 years now. And but my company also applied for me. I just filled out a few things, but they applied for me. But that's also a very good thing to have. Let me quickly, 30% ruling, specifically for highly skilled migrants working in the Netherlands. And it's basically, you need to be under 30. There's like a lot of, it's just online. There's a minimum salary that you need to earn, and then obviously you need to be employed by a company. You've got specific professional expertise, and then also your company needs to agree in writing that you can apply for it, and you are transferred from abroad that's further than 150 kilometers from the Dutch border. So obviously South Africa is very far from that. So there's a few requirements that you need to obviously comply, and then you can get a 30% tax ruling. So that's also a very big advantage. And yeah, I think that's basically everything that I wanted to touch. Obviously there's a lot more detail on everything that I basically touched on, but I just quickly wanted to like just give an overview of what I went through, what I did in the first few days. I found my apartment in my I was here for 1.5 weeks, and then I basically got my apartment, I think like a Thursday, and then on the Saturday I moved in. And yeah, if there's any specific questions that someone wants me to get into, or more information on something specifically, I can always do that. So please let me know in the comments below. I just wanted to give a rough, very rough thing. And then also I'm going to make a separate video somewhere, like, I don't know, we'll see when I get time, on my experience thus far. So obviously this is just the processes and stuff that I did, and but I want to make like a video on just everything that's different here, because there's a hell of a lot of stuff, like just the way everything works. Obviously it's a different country, and the things, it just blows my mind, everything. So I want to make like a big list of, you know, some just stuff that's different, the way you put away your garbage, the way you pay in the supermarket, the way the post system works, the way like appointments and the online stuff works, and just like normal things, the parks, cycling, and yeah, everything like that. I want to like touch on a lot of stuff, so I will definitely make a video like that in the future. And then yeah, that is going to be it. I hope this was a little bit valuable to some people. It would have been for me if I watched this a little bit back last year when I yeah, originally decided to come. So yeah, I really hope it helps someone out there, and then I will see you next time with a new video. It will be a day in my working life, where I'll also get into like me cycling to work, about my work again, and yeah, just showing you what I get up to in a day of me working. So yeah, that's going to be it. So then I'll see you again, and I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.